Welcome everybody to part 2 of the Z3 project. In this video we're going to start making that external cage. The main tool we're going to be using is this manual pipe bender. I bought it about 5 years ago to make an exhaust manifold, and it's been sat in the corner ever since, so I've never installed it in my workshop here at home. So the first thing we're going to do is bolt it into the floor, and then I'll take you through how it works. And here it is, ready to go. As I say, this is a manual bender, so it uses a ratchet and a lever to bend the pipe round this die. It is a nice cheap machine. You can buy the actual machine itself for about £350, but you have to buy the dies separately, and you get them just to match the pipe you're using. So we're using 1.5 inches today, so we have 1.5 inches die to match the pipe. Right, so I'm going to show you a quick 45-degree bend in a pipe and how simple it is to do it with this machine. So first of all, we're going to shove the pipe in the machine, like so. Then there's a C-clamp that holds the pipe to the die. That goes in there. And then we tension the ratchet. That's fine. Right, we're nearly ready to start doing the first bend. There's 2 things left to do. One thing is we need to work out what bend we're doing, how far we're going. So there's an angle gauge here at the bottom at the front, and what we do is we use a pointer. So we make sure everything's tight, and we'll set this pointer to 0. Right, second thing we need to do is we need to mark this pipe upwards. So if we do a bend that way, and we eventually want to do another bend on this side of the pipe coming out the same direction, if we put it in wrong, we could get them coming out like that or like that. So we need to mark 0 degrees up. So what we use is this little angle gauge. It goes on the end of the pipe, and we set it to 0. Then, if I can find my pen, we mark a little blue dot on the top. And now we know what is up on that pipe. So our pointer's on 0. We're going to come around the back, engage the ratchet, and then this is the manual labour bit. We start pulling it round. We're just going up 1 tooth at a time. For 42, 45. And there we go, that's our test 45-degree bend. The best thing about this machine is as it bends the pipe, it doesn't crimp it, so it keeps that external diameter throughout. Right, let's get on with the car. Right, we're at our first stage where we've got to join our first 2 pipes together. Now the bottom of this pipe at the moment is flat, and if we join them together like that, that makes a weak joint, because if I roll it, hopefully not, it could crack and come off this way or this way. So we want to contour the bottom of that pipe so it fits around this one nicely and tightly. So what we do is we notch it. Now I've notched this end of this pipe, and that fits perfectly into there, and we can see that's a real good joint all the way around. But the problem with this one is it comes down at an angle. So if I was to hold this here, we get a big gap. So we have to work out the right contour for this pipe, so we use a different tool. And here is our pipe master tool. Now this is the company I've bought all these tools off. So if you ever want really cheap but good quality tools, give them a ring. So, how we use this. It slides over the outside of our pipe, and then when we get the angle we want, we push it down over and then slide it back, and that gives us our contour. So you draw around this, cut it to that shape, and then it should fit. Hopefully. Let's have a go. So we've marked our pipe and we're ready to notch it. Here's my notcher. It's one of the cheapest ones you can buy, but still works well. Basically, we've got our 1.5" cutter on here. This part of it is adjustable. You can adjust it up and down. So you basically slide the pipe in, lock it off to where you want it, drill on the top, you pull the pin, that gives you your up and down movement. And then basically you start drilling. So we'll just set this up where we need it. Which is about there. And that's it. Let's get drilling. Easy peasy. Lock that in, slide it out, clean it up in the grinder, and we'll have a look, see if it fits. So our notch is pretty much on the line, which is good. Let's try it on the car. I've cut this little piece as well. That's going to go as a support on the back here. Let's put it on. Looking good. Right, I'm going to plasma cut a little square out now for this mount, and then we'll start welding. So just a quickie on a plasma cutter. You have an inverter which changes the voltage coming out of the plug to a higher one, so when you touch this on the metal and pull the trigger, it mounts the metal. Also, when you pull the trigger, air comes out which blows that molten metal away, giving you your cut. You can do it freehand, but mine always comes out squiggly, so what I do is I usually put a piece of angle iron down and then run your torch along that, and that gives you a nice straight line, like this. And there is our cut. Nice and straight. Problem with plasma cutters is it always leaves a bit of a mess, so you have to grind it up after, but it's just the easiest way to cut thick metal. Right, let's get cutting. Right, we've only made a little start on the Z3, but the best thing is all you lot know how this stuff works. So on the next video, we'll get cracking. See you again.